The mortal slips the ring onto his finger and vanishes. But when the Dark Lord himself wears it, his form remains tall, terrible, unhidden. Why does the One Ring bend the world for hobbits, yet not for its own master? Today we journey deep into Tolkien's vast legendarium to uncover why the laws of the One Ring do not bind Sauron as they do mortals. And by the end of this tale, we'll reveal how this ability, or rather this inability, shaped the entire course of the War of the Ring. For mortal hands, the ring is a veil. Slip it on, and the bearer fades from sight, stepping into the shadow realm, unseen by most, yet glaringly visible to the eye. This is the rule we know. The ring pulls the living body halfway into the unseen world, leaving only a whisper of its presence in the realm of flesh. So, why not Sauron? Why does the very being who forged the ring, who poured his will and essence into its gold, stand before armies without vanishing? Is it defiance of the ring's magic, or something far more fundamental about the nature of the Dark Lord himself? That is the puzzle we must solve. To understand why the ring's power treats Sauron differently, we must first understand what Sauron truly is. Long before the forging of the One Ring, Sauron was not a dark-armored tyrant. He was Mairon, a Maya, a spirit of great knowledge and craft, kin in nature to Gandalf and Saruman. Unlike mortals, his truest self was never bound to a body of flesh. His form was a choice, a projection of will, shaped and reshaped over the long ages. When a mortal slips on the ring, it drags their physical body into the wraith-world, the unseen plane that lies just beside our own. But a Maya like Sauron already walks with one foot in that world. His body is not something the ring can hide away. It is a shell he maintains through sheer force of spirit. The ring's enchantment over mortals is like a door, pulling them into the shadow realm. For Sauron, that door is already open, and has been for millennia. There is no new state to slip into, no deeper invisibility to gain. In truth, invisibility would be a disadvantage to him. Sauron rules through terror. His presence, towering, crowned in iron, wreathed in fire, is a weapon in itself. To vanish would be to give up the psychological warfare he wields so effectively. And yet, the ring is far from useless to its master. For Sauron, it is not a tool to hide, but a vessel that anchors his spirit to the physical world. After the downfall of Numenor, when his fair form was lost forever, the ring became the pillar upon which his existence rested. Without it, his body is but smoke and malice. With it, he can endure, command armies, and pour his will into every corner of Middle-earth. Tolkien hints at this in his letters. For the greatest of beings, the ring does not grant invisibility. It magnifies their essence. In Sauron's case, that essence is domination itself. Here lies the heart of the mystery. Sauron doesn't vanish because his form is already an illusion, a mask of power woven from the very magic of the ring. The moment he places it upon his finger, there is nothing to pull into the shadow world. He is already there, and here, in both realms at once. The armor, the towering figure, the black crown, these are not flesh and blood. They are will made visible, a will so strong that it forces the world to acknowledge it. To become invisible would be to step back, to loosen that grip. And the Dark Lord never steps back. He stands in plain sight, not because he cannot hide, but because to hide would be to admit weakness. So we return to our question. Why does the One Ring make mortals vanish, yet leave Sauron standing in terrible majesty? Because for mortals, the ring is a passage, pulling them toward the wraith-world, stripping them from the realm of flesh. For Sauron, there is no passage to take. His spirit has long dwelt in both worlds, and his body is but a projection held together by the ring's own power. Invisibility offers him nothing. Presence is his true weapon. This is why the battlefield trembles when his form appears. The sight of the Dark Lord is itself an act of domination. Before he was the Dark Lord, the name that Middle-earth would whisper in dread, he was Mairon, a spirit of light, of order, and of fire, and like many tales of corruption, his path began not in shadow, but in brilliance. Mairon was a Maya, one of the lesser Ainur, kin to Gandalf, Saruman, and even Melian of Doriath. In the earliest days before the shaping of the world, he was drawn to the works of Aule, the smith. Here he learned craft, discipline, and the beauty of order. Unlike many of his kind, who loved freedom in music, Mairon adored structure. To him, perfection was symmetry. Harmony was found not in chaos, but in command. And this, perhaps, was the seed of his downfall. For while others saw freedom as the highest gift, Mairon saw waste and ruin in it. He believed that order must be enforced. That will must be imposed. And when Morgoth, the first Dark Lord, whispered promises of power and dominion, Mairon listened. Not out of hatred for creation, but out of desire to perfect it, to bend it into flawless unity. Under Morgoth's shadow, Mairon became Sauron, the Abhorred. He learned deception, mastery of spirits, and the subtle art of domination. He became Morgoth's greatest lieutenant, feared for his cunning more than brute strength. For while Morgoth unleashed ruin in fire and war, Sauron preferred subtler tools, corruption, lies, promises whispered into eager ears. When Morgoth was cast down into the void, Sauron stood unbroken. He could have sought forgiveness, as some Maiar did. He could have turned back toward the light of the West, but pride would not allow it. He had tasted dominion, and he would not release it. So he gathered the scattered servants of darkness, orcs and trolls, wolves and foul things, and crowned himself their new master. It was in this age that he crafted the One Ring. Into its gold he poured not only his will, but a shard of his very essence. The ring was not merely a tool, it was a vessel, a second heart, beating with his malice. From then on, Sauron and the ring were bound together. So long as the ring endured, so would his shadow stretch over Middle-earth. If you've enjoyed uncovering this mystery, journey with me into the next tale, where we explore how the War of the Ring might have unfolded if Sauron could vanish at will. Click now, and let us walk that shadowed path together.